think there should be more emphasis on people preparing in advance and not being frightened of setting up powers of attorney. Putting that in place in advance can really help solve a lot of issues.
The most important advice really is to plan ahead where you can.
It's better to have things in place and never need them.
Today we are welcoming Cariad Medway-Smith and Joe Spring from Steele Raymond. Cariad is a private client executive and her areas of expertise include estate administration, wills, care fee advice and inheritance tax planning. And Joe Spring is a partner of the firm's wills, trust and probate team. Welcome to you both today and thank you for being here with us. Could you start by telling us a little bit about your background?
My name's Jo Spring and I am a solicitor in private client. I've been a solicitor for 20 years and I specialise in the personal aspects of law. I deal with wills, I deal with trusts, I deal with probate, I deal with powers of attorney and people going into care and that area. And this is Cariad and she works with me.
My name's Cariad Medway-Smith. I'm also a private client lawyer with Steele Raymond Solicitors in Bournemouth. And our area of law covers a lot of mental capacity work, so that's helping clients with decisions about their finances, sometimes where they live as well. And yes, we also cover wills, probate work, trust work.
What contact do you have with family members of those who need extra help to remain at home?
So people would usually come to us when they are either considering for themselves what they might need to help move forward, or when they're worried about parents or other loved ones. Our involvement usually revolves around the sort of financial side and powers of attorney. So we will help family members access funds either through setting up new powers of attorney if people haven't already got them, or through activating the powers of attorney that they have already got. And if we've made it to the situation where sadly the person who's going into care hasn't got capacity but access is still needed to funds, we help with deputyship applications to the court, which is how funds are accessed when someone doesn't have the capacity to deal with things themselves.
Tell me what the common concerns or questions people have when you meet individuals or families for the first time. What are they struggling with?
I think families are often struggling with whether typically mum or dad has reached the point where they're no longer to look after their own affairs. So, which all hinges on, the legal term is mental capacity.
Is there any information or support out there that you think isn't as well known about as it should be?
I think there should be more emphasis on people preparing in advance and not being frightened of setting up powers of attorney well in advance of them being ever needed, so that they're there as a safety net in the background, helping somebody access funds, access care, deal with health and welfare questions is much easier if they've prepared in advance and put in place powers of attorney. Without those, once somebody loses capacity, we are at the mercy of the courts, which, although they do their best to help, does take a very long time and can be very expensive, whereas putting in place your power of attorney, which can be looked after safely with your solicitor or with your financial advisor or somebody like that to keep it secure, putting that in place in advance can really help solve a lot of issues.
Yeah, I think it's a common misconception that lasting powers of attorney are only for the very elderly, and it's not. It's really a very important lifetime planning measure that anyone who has assets ought to be thinking of.
And finally, do you have any words of encouragement or advice for people who may be caregiving or supporting someone who couldn't manage without their help at home?
Keep going. It will be okay. There is help out there. Everyone is on your side to try and help your loved ones get the care they need and get it funded the way they need it funded. There are so many people out there looking to help and to assist and to provide advice that you should have no problem establishing a proper care regime for your friends and family. Just remember, there's help out there. You are not alone.